Alright, welcome back to our third video in our Introduction to Flask series. This video is going to be focused on templates within Flask. Templates are this wonderful little thing that allows us to put dynamic content into our HTML pages, essentially design an HTML template, just a normal HTML page, and then put some special characters in there to say, hey, Flask, this is where I want you to put some dynamic content, whether that be the user's username, the user's profile link, or comments, stuff like that. It's all done through templates. So we are going to focus on that, and we're going to go over a few things inside of that. Just simply how to put content in there, and then how to make decisions, if and else, conditionals, control flow stuff in templates as well, because that will become very important when we start dealing with databases and users. Is your user logged in? If your user's not logged in, do you want to show a profile link to a user? Probably not. And if you do, why and who you're going to link to? That's just a personal question. I honestly wouldn't do that in the first place. I'm just curious as to what you're thinking. Anyways, we're just going to jump into it and start off on making a template. So right here is our little templates folder we made in the last video. We're going to click on new file and just make an index.html. Now here we're going to just make the normal HTML outline for just any document. But inside the title here, we're going to do something a little fancy. We're going to do these double little curly brackets, all right? And in here, we're going to put the name title, okay? Now this is fancy, I understand. Don't worry about it yet. Okay, we're going to go after these little curly braces and then just say YouTube blog, because, you know, this is on YouTube. Now, this little curly brace system we got going on here is going to tell Flask that this is where we want to put a variable that we generate in our Python files. So in views.py, we're going to do what we call render this template. And when we do, we're going to pass it a variable called title. That value of that variable is then going to be placed here so that we now have a title that is decided based on our Python code and not just something that's hard-coded into the HTML page. And let's go down here and add something else too. We want to put like a little heading saying hello to a user, right? So we're going to say hello, if you can spell it right. And then in these curly braces here, we're going to put another little system and say user.username. And let's put some spaces there to make it look all good. All right, yes, Sublime Text. Okay, so then right in here, what's going to happen is it's going to take the object we pass, user, and then put the value from its username attribute into this. So this way, if you have a large database and you're using an ORM, if you don't know what that is, we'll cover it later on, you can take the object representation of your database, throw it in here, and start pulling things out of it dynamically so that you have an entirely dynamic web page done in Flask. So that's all cool. Let's see how we actually do it. We go into views here. We're going to import this new thing up here from Flask, import render template. Render template is this wonderful little function that is going to help us actually take our template, tell Flask to put variables in there, actually put the variables in there, and just be plain out magic. It's amazing. Favorite function 2016. Alright, so then in our little index function, we got to make our user variable, because over here we made a user, but we don't know how to do database stuff yet. If you do, just keep it to yourself. Anyways, we need to make a user. So we're going to go in here, make a little user dictionary as a fake user, and just give it a... Okay, let me think this through. Okay, username, couldn't spell for a second. We're going to put this little value in here and create a fake user dictionary. This is a really wonderful little thing, and it's a nice trick for if you need to just test to see if your template works without having to worry about making an actual user. We'll make users later on when we talk about databases. Now once we have that done, we're going to go straight into rendering our template with this render template function. And to do that, you simply just return render template, and then in here we need to pass the name of the template, which is index.html, and then we need to pass the title that we're making. So title equals Let's do something fun. Home. Very creative. And then we're going to make one last thing, and we have to actually pass our user, and that's going to be user equals user. Now you might notice a little pattern here. User equals user, kind of like vague, right? Why are we naming this user? Why are we naming this title? Are these built-in things to the render template method? No, actually. There's this nice little variable arguments and keyword arguments thing that you can do in Python, which you should go watch a video on if you don't know about that. But the names here, title and user, are coming directly from the template we made, where we defined title and user as our variables. So these are really cool, fascinating little things. Let's actually test it out. Make sure you save your page, open up command prompt, and we're just going to say Python run.py. That'll start up our little server. We go into our web page, and boom, we have home, YouTube blog, and hello, the Kurt Price. If we look back here, hey, it replaced the little curly braces. And you can actually even check the source code that this is looking at and see that, that's just put straight in there. There's no remnants of your framework anywhere in the page, and it looks beautiful. So that's just your basic variables in a template. Let's look at some control statements, right? How do we make decisions? How do we do if or else in a template? I don't know. That's for you to figure out, right? No. So we're going to do this very similarly to how you'd make an if statement in actual programming. So something simple we can do is say in our title up here, if we actually have a title, put that title in there. If we don't have a title, just make a default one that says welcome to the microblog, or welcome to YouTube blog in our case. So the if statements are going to be very similar to the variables, but instead of a double curly brace, it's going to be a curly brace, %, %, and our content is going to go inside of these % signs here. And what we're going to check, we're going to write an if statement just like in Python. So if title, just like you would in Python, no difference. You're just surrounding your if statement with these % signs. If title, and then just for readability, we're going to indent that a little bit more, just so we know that that's part of this. And then we're going to make an else. To make an else, it's the same thing. Just put the print signs and the little curly braces around it. So what this will do is it'll say if we have a title variable, make this the title. Put this tag into the HTML. Else, we're going to make another title here, and we're going to say welcome to YouTube blog. Now we need to end this else because what if we have elifs and all that kind of crazy stuff going on? What do? We're going to do a curly brace, %, end if, %, curly brace. And this will just say that we're done with all of our control statements for this if statement block, and that we're going to either start another one or we're just going to jump straight into just adding static HTML to our web page. So let's save this, refresh. Everything should work the same. Let's go back into our views, and let's get rid of this title equals none, right? Let's bring our user over there. So now, if we refresh our page here, welcome to YouTube blog. It got rid of our little title there because we didn't specify what we wanted for our title. Now we can go back in here and put it back, and we'll see that our title's there now. So that's a quick little example of an if statement. So this video is kind of getting long. I'm going to move on to doing for loops and while loops in the next video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below. If you like the video, please press the like button. And if you'd like to see future videos, press that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.